Stephen Speak, Extra Speak. A little more of everything and nothing. Don't forget to subscribe. Hi, welcome to Stephen Speak Extra. Today's short episode is about memories again. I was speaking to my mum about my job. I just changed jobs. I'm on a secondment, and it's a bit different. And it's new, and I used to be a manager, and now I'm not so managing people, but managing myself and going into projects and stuff like that. So, bit of a new adventure for me, massive learning curve. And she was talking about me as a child, and we were talking about Lego and stuff like that. And she was laughing because I was making some Lego, I think, when she called me, and she just told me a story that I'd never heard before, and it cheered me up and made me laugh, and kind of shows the confidence I had even as a child. But yeah, basically, I was in the living room, and I think they were watching TV, and I was happily playing with my Duplo Lego, which is the child's version of Lego, like the younger version of Lego, which is like big bricks. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like big and chunky, so obviously toddlers and stuff can put it together easier. And I had a Duplo train set. I actually think it was my brother's, and it got passed down to me, but I still have it. It's in amongst my Lego collection. And I was happily playing along with that, and my dad had come in from work, and he'd plonked himself down with a brew, and they just asked me a question about, like, what was I playing and what was I doing, and I think my dad, it was either my dad or my mum said, "Oh, would you like to be a train driver when you grow up?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to. I'm going to run the railway." And my dad said, "Oh, are you really?" Because obviously my dad worked on the railway, and he found that interesting. And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm not gonna work for a living. I'm gonna be a manager." And it just made me laugh because obviously I have been a manager for a while, and I'm not in charge of the railway, but it just made me laugh. And my mum, she the way she was telling it, obviously it made her giggle, and it was kind of a nice story as well because she led saying, you are now a manager on the railway, and you're making big decisions for the railway, and I suppose I am really, and it was nice just to hear her kind of give me a bit of a pat on the back. And her and my dad had been talking, because they're now separated, but they had been talking about my new role and like how proud they were of me. But it was just funny to hear that story that I'd never heard before. And it's strange that you can, I'm getting on to nearly being 40 now, and I'd never heard that story of when I was like 4 or 5 years old about wishing to work on the railway, weirdly enough. And as a child, that's like a throwaway thing. Like, do you want to be a train driver? No, I want to work on the railway and not actually be a train driver. I'll just do nothing. But yeah, it was just interesting to me how, I'd never heard that story before, and she was proper laughing about it, actually. So it was obviously like a fond memory of hers. But I was very much like that. As a kid, I didn't really have a way to go, and I've never been lazy. I don't think I've been lazy. I've always tried my best. So that kind of thought in my head of as a child, like, I'm going to be a manager on the railway because I don't want to do any work, obviously didn't progress into my adulthood, because if I thought someone thought that of me, I'd be working 24/7 to recoup my my respect and my and clear my name of being lazy, really. It just makes me laugh because I think as a child I aimed high, and I don't think I blocked myself from any career path. I think if you'd have said to me, "Stephen, do you think you could be an astronaut?" I'd have been like, "Yeah, of course." Like my confidence in things as a child, I think, was quite big. I always thought, if you just have to point me in the right direction and I'll work towards it. And I hope that, when me and Sarah have kids, I hope that we can install that on our children, and not pressurize them into being something or not, and just following what they feel like they need to do. And this path I've been on, it wasn't the path I chose for work life. It's just kind of evolved that way. I never really, obviously at that age, I thought I might go on the railway potentially, but because my dad does, but I never really had that thought in my head. But these things just happen, don't they? But yeah, it's funny the thought that I apparently had as a 4 and 5 year old, that I was gonna just rule the railway apparently, and not do any work, and probably earn a lot of money from it. Just makes me giggle. I thought I'd just share that little story. It made me laugh, and it obviously brought my mum some joy telling it and reliving it. So yeah, there you go. That's Stephen Speak Extra for this time. Thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you again. You've been listening to Stephen Speak Extra Speak. Thanks for listening, and please subscribe.